I'm going to pick the Tyrannosaurus Rex, I'm going to place it in one of my woodland enclosures and pass my remaining dinosaurs over to you. Draftosaurus is a dinosaur drafting game where players pick brightly coloured wooden dinosaurs and place them in their Jurassic Park style zoos with the aim of scoring the most victory points possible. The catch here is that the dinosaurs that players have in their hands get passed from player to player throughout the round, so making the right choice of which dinosaur species you want to collect is incredibly crucial. The player with the most victory points at the end of 2 rounds is declared the winner.
You don't have to be a Sam Neill or Jeff Goldblum to get a slice of your own Jurassic Park experience, because setting up your own bite-sized colourful prehistoric world is fairly simple. At the beginning of each game, each player takes a zoo board, flips it to the easier summer side, and places the number of dinosaurs in the bag according to the number of players as outlined in the rulebook. Each player then draws 6 crusty plated wooden dinosaurs from the draw bag and keeps them hidden in their hands.
Each game of Draftosaurus traverses over 2 rounds, with each round consisting of 6 turns. At the beginning of each turn, the player with the placement die, which determines where all dinosaurs are going to be placed for that particular turn, will roll it. The player who rolls the placement die, however, is exempt from the placement rules, so they can place their dinosaur wherever they like.
Each player's playboard is divided into 3 distinct zones: the woodlands, which are green, the grasslands, which is brown, and the river, which is blue. The left side of the river is known as the food court side of the zoo, whilst the right side is known as the restroom side of the zoo. When the placement die is rolled, if a woodland symbol is shown, players need to place their chosen dino in one of the 3 green woodland pens. If the grassland symbol is shown, players need to place their chosen dinosaur in one of the 3 grassland pens. If a food court or restroom symbol is rolled, players need to place their dinosaur respectively on the left or right side of the river corresponding to the symbol indicated on the die. If an empty pen symbol is shown, players must select a dinosaur and place it in an empty enclosure on their board. If the T-Rex alert symbol is shown, players must place a dinosaur in a pen without a T-Rex already in it. If a player cannot or chooses not to place a dinosaur in a pen, they can place their dinosaur instead in the river. I know, right? This scores them 1 victory point per dinosaur in the river at the end of the entire game.
Each player places their dinosaur in their zoo. Each player passes their remaining handful of dinosaurs to the next player to their left. The placement die is also passed to the next player and a new round begins.
In examining the zoo enclosures more closely, the Forest of Sameness enclosure can only hold dinosaurs of the same species. Players score points as shown below. The Meadow of Differences enclosure can only hold dinosaurs of different species and scores victory points as indicated below it. The Prairie of Love can hold pairs of the same species dinosaurs, with each pair scoring 5 victory points per pair at the end of the game. The Woody Trio can hold up to 3 dinosaurs of any species, scoring 7 victory points for every 3 dinosaurs there are there at the end of the game. The King of the Jungle can only hold 1 dinosaur. It brings you 7 victory points at the end of the game if you have equal or more of the same number of the specified species in your zoo compared to all the other players. If you don't, you score 0. The Solitary Island enclosure can hold 1 dinosaur and gives you 7 victory points if it is the only species of that dinosaur type in your zoo. Essentially, players will keep picking dinosaurs and passing the rest of their dinosaurs until all players have placed 6 dinosaurs in their zoos. Following this, the second round begins.
After 2 rounds, the players add up their total amount of victory points and the player with the highest number of victory points wins.
The game also comes with an advanced variant called the Winter Mode. In this version, the enclosures score slightly differently. The well-ordered wood enclosure can only hold 2 different species of dinosaurs in a specific alternating order, moving from left to right. The Lover's Bridge is divided by the river and can hold dinosaurs of any species. It yields 6 victory points for each same species couple of dinosaurs, where there is 1 species on each side of the bridge at the end of the game. Hooray for dinosaur equality! The Pyramid enclosure holds up to 6 dinosaurs, 3 in the bottom row, 2 in the middle, and 1 in the top row. Two dinosaurs of the same species cannot place adjacent to each other in this pyramid enclosure. Victory points are scored at the end of the game based on the number of dinosaurs and their positions. The lookout enclosure only holds one solitary dinosaur. It brings 2 victory points for every dinosaur in the zoo of the player on your right that contains dinosaurs of the same species as the one in the lookout enclosure. Finally, the quarantine zone can only hold one dinosaur. You can move this dinosaur to the river or any other enclosure at the end of the game before counting its victory points.
What I really love about Draftosaurus is that it reminds me of another very popular card drafting set collection game called Sushi Go. Except Draftosaurus has a few more layers to it and is a little bit meatier in terms of its strategy. I also like the wooden dino meeple finishes that this game provides. It is incredibly well cut, and the colors of the dinosaurs themselves really evokes a really great sense of table presence, which really draws everybody in when you start playing the game. In terms of the strategy, I also love the fact that you can see what players are trying to vie for. Players can evaluate the composition of dinosaurs in their hand, as well as visually looking at everybody else's zoos and seeing whether the dinosaur they pick is the best choice for their game in order to maximize points, but also hinder everybody else's progress. I also think the placement rules in each of the zoos is really quite cool because it really creates this puzzly effect in terms of deciding whether you're going to collect pairs of dinosaurs or unique dinosaurs. It kind of adds another layer to the decision making that's involved. The placement die that gets rolled also hones and focuses in your strategy as well. By limiting you to choosing particular regions of your board means that you can't just go, I'm going to collect pairs of dinosaurs and that's the game. The placement die really forces you to make tough decisions and tough choices and see how they play out. So there's that added layer of complexity to the game, which I really love. I also really like the fact that there's 2 sides to the board, the summer side, which is the regular side, and winter side, which is the advanced variant side, which really increases the replay value of the game. And finally, I love how simple the rules are. It's very easy to play, easy to teach, and the game only lasts for about 10 to 15 minutes. So it is absolutely a big tick in my book. There are some points to consider if you're thinking about getting Draftosaurus for your dinosaur collection. Board game collection. First of all, there is a small element of hate drafting that can appear through the game, and that's when a player chooses a dinosaur that clearly everybody else needs for their zoo. But that comes with the mechanic of drafting, and picking things that optimize your game and not everybody else's is part of the process. But the fact that it's public information means that can kind of leave a sour taste in some players' mouth, and that's the nature of the beast. Second of all, I also think that if you're playing this game during flu season, players are going to be passing these dino meeples around the entire game group. So if someone's got really sweaty hands or has coughed in their hands, you're going to be passing that along, as well as some prehistoric wooden animals as well. So that's going to be something you might want to consider, getting little containers or little shields, or passing the group of dino meeples and placing them in front of the other player with a shield in front of them might reduce the germ sharing factor of the game. And, holding onto a bunch of really sharp dinosaurs really gets you in theme and gets you into the motion of picking gritty dinosaurs. Finally, there is a really cool 2-player variant in the game where the game is actually played over 4 rounds, and each time players choose a dinosaur to place into their zoo on their turn, they actually take one of the dinosaurs out from their remaining handful and places it back in the box, meaning that when you get the handful of dinosaurs from the other player, you're never really going to know what dinosaurs are going to still be left there, and your opponent is probably going to choose a dinosaur that is going to hinder your gameplay. So you better watch out when you play the cutthroat version of Draftosaurus at the 2-player level. But in considering my final verdict, Draftosaurus is an excellent gateway game, and it's a welcome addition to any family board game collection. It's a really good game to either start or end a game night with as well. Its table presence is striking, and its rules are quite simple and easy to understand. Thank you once again for joining me for another Board Game Sanctuary video. If you really like this video, please remember to chomp the like, subscribe, and share button, and I look forward to bringing you another Board Game Sanctuary video in the near future. I also want to say a huge thank you and shout out to all the people who currently subscribe to my channel. It really means a lot. Thank you very much. This is Danny signing out. I'll see you guys again next time. Goodbye.